Hello friends, welcome to Shiva Academy. This video series is mainly to address the questions and the comments that I am receiving through mail or in the comment section. As a continuation of that, in this video we are going to see two different questions that I have received. Let's start with the first question. So we are provided with a transaction table which contains three columns, an ID column, a transaction type and an amount. The transaction type C represents it is a credit transaction and D represents it is a debit transaction. So the expectation is we need to write a query to find the cumulative sum of balance. Something like if it is a credit then it is a positive balance, and if it is a debit it is something like a withdrawal. So we need to deduct from the actual balance. For example, let's start with the first transaction. Initially our transaction balance is 10,000. Then we have like 2000 debit. So we need to subtract 2000 from 10,000. So as of transaction 2, the total balance is 8,000. Then in the third transaction, we have like 10,000 credit. So 8,000 plus 10,000. So as of third transaction, we have 18,000 as the balance. And the fourth transaction is 5,000 debit. That is 5,000 is withdrawn from the total balance. So we need to subtract 5,000 from 18,000. So as of fourth transaction, we have 13,000 as the balance. And finally, we have like 4,000 debit in the fifth transaction. So we need to subtract 4,000 from 13,000. So the final balance in the account is 9,000. So like this, we need to compute the cumulative balance. Let's see how to write a SQL to implement this functionality. Okay, first let me create the table. So the table T is created and I'm just populating these 5 transactions and I'm just committing the transactions. Fine. So now we have a table T with all these 5 transactions. Fine. Let's start with table T here. Okay, first what we are going to do is let's select all the columns here. ID, type, amount. Fine. So first what we are going to do, I'm just going to show you two different ways by which this can be implemented. Let us display only the credit in one column and debit in another column. So either you can use a D code or case. So for simplicity, let me use the D code. So if type is credit, then display the amount. So that I will get only the credit amount. Let us say this is credit amount. Same way, let us put one more column called debit amount. So if type is D, let us put debit amount. Fine. So using the sum analytical function, we can get the cumulative sum of amount. So let me say sum of, let me take the credit amount over order by ID. So this will give the cumulative sum of credit amount. Let me say credit cumulative. Okay, very similar to this, we can even compute the debit cumulative also. Let me say debit. So let me just say debit cumulative. So this is the cumulative sum of debit amount. So the final amount is nothing but the cumulative sum of credit minus debit. So this is one way of implementation. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the same thing. This is credit amount minus debit amount. Let me give alias like cumulative sum. Okay, now you got the cumulative sum. So since we put a minus, since this is a null, the 10,000 minus null is coming as a null value here. In case if you want to print the 10,000 as it is, let us put a NVL here. So NVL of comma 0. Same way, let us put here. Now you can see that we actually computed a cumulative sum of debit and a cumulative sum of credit and we subtracted both. Rather than doing this, a very easiest implementation would be, let us say decode of type. If it is C, use the amount as it is. Otherwise, if it is D, use amount into -1. So that we will get one column saying that wherever there is a debit, it will show as a positive number. Wherever there is a credit, it will show as a positive number. Wherever there is a debit transaction, it will show as a negative number. Then we just need to use this for our cumulative sum. Let me say sum of over order by ID. So this is our cumulative sum to computation. So we got the cumulative sum. So let me just remove all these unnecessary columns. So from here till here. Yeah. So I just removed all these unnecessary computations. I just kept only the cumulative sum, what I computed in the last. So you can compute in two different ways. Either you compute like cumulative sum of credit, then cumulative sum of debit, subtract it. Otherwise, you just consider a decode to consider like amount as a positive if it is a credit transaction, amount as a negative if it is a debit transaction, then apply the cumulative sum. In fact, this is the much more efficient way of implementation. Okay. So this is our first query. So here is the query, and it is very simple. You consider like if it is a credit, you use the amount as it is. If it is a debit, you multiply with -1 to consider it as a negative number. And finally, you take the cumulative sum using the sum analytical function. Fine. Now let us see the second question. So here is a table which contains a name and 3 different phone numbers like home phone number, work phone number, and mobile phone number. And the expectation is we need to transform this data. So in this case, like we have the phone number in 3 different column, like one work phone number in one column, home phone number in another column, and mobile number in another column. The expectation is we need to convert this column information into row of information. So this is basically like a transforming the data. There is not much logical implementation. It is just we need to transform one form of data into another form of data. In fact, the same information we are going to represent in a row of data now. Let us see how to implement this in 2 different methods. So let me create the table. The table is created. I'm just populating and committing the informations. So here is the data. So let me just remove all these things. Let's start with here. Let's see the first method of implementation. So first method, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select name and home number. Let me just give this alias as contact number. So this will just give only home number. So let me just say that this is home number. Home number. Or let's say number type. Okay, so this is our, we just got only the home number. Same way, let us write another query to get mobile number. So in this case, instead of home number, I'm just going to use mobile number. So this is our second query, which will bring only the mobile number. Similarly, one more query let us write, which will give the work number. So this is work number. So instead of mobile number, let's say this is work number. Okay, so we got all the 3 numbers in 3 different queries. Let us put all as like union all, or you can say, yeah, now we got all these information. So finally we'll select number type, comma, name we need, right? Name, number type, and contact number from where contact number is not null, because we don't have to display the null records here, is not null. Either you can handle this not null condition inside in the inner query also, otherwise you can handle in the outer query also. So this is our first method of implementation. This is not that much efficient because we are accessing the same table 3 times, one for each column, that is one for each phone number type. Instead, let us write one more query which is much more efficient than this. So select star from yes. So what I'm going to do, say select star from, I'm going to use the unpivot clause. Unpivot contact number for number type in. So what are all the columns we need? We just need to mention here. So let me just put it in another row. So this is home number, work number and mobile number. Yeah. Now if you see, this query is much more efficient than the previous query, because in this query we are accessing the table once and we are just transforming the informations. So here is our second method of implementation using the unpivot class, much efficient way. Here is the first method. If the table is very small, and in fact this method is also much better, because if the table is small it is not going to affect the performance. However, if the table is big, I would suggest you to consider the unpivot class, because we are going to access the table just only once. To learn more about unpivot class, I would suggest you to watch this video. When you are learning about unpivot class, always learn about the pivot class also, because understanding in comparison with each other will really help you to learn much better. If you have any other questions to be answered, please post it in the comment section, or you can drop to this mail ID. But before that, you can check whether a similar question has already been posted as part of the interview question series or as part of the subscriber question series. If you are not able to find your question here, please write back to me. I'll be happy to record and post as a new video. If you have learned something new, please like this video, subscribe and stay tuned for new feature video, interview question, SQL practical question and concept videos. And thanks a lot for watching this video. Please click the bell icon if you want to receive instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded into this channel. Thanks a lot.